Let's see what our book is going to be. We are going through all of the TBR, getting down to the last little bits. Ooh, a blank one, which means I'm going to pick, and it's really close to Broken Bonds, so I think I will go with that. Oh my gosh, so literally just started Broken Bonds, and bam, out the gate. It is fantastic. I'm loving the writing style. It's super easy to read. It grabs you. We're basically following Oleander. We don't know why exactly, but she kind of ran away in this world where you're supposed to be powerful and you have certain abilities and you're bonded to these different individuals. In her case, she has 5 bonded guys. There's Knox, who's kind of an a-hole. North, who's very much like the rich boy, kind of like 50 Shades of Grey guy who's very like rich and powerful and demanding things go his way. There's Gabe, who's just kind of like frat boy. There's Atlas, who we haven't actually gotten to really see yet. He's overseas and has to finish school there before he can come. And he just seems like a real sweetheart. Absolutely adore this guy. And the last one was Griffin, I think. And for him, I'm still not really sure exactly what part he plays, like what his personality is. But anyway, so it's all about she ran away from the bonded. That's just unheard of. And to do that, plus they say she has no abilities, makes this very sus for everybody. And so they do capture her and they bring her back to the school. And like everybody but Atlas is treating her absolutely like garbage because she ran away from them. So like all of that in the first 25%. So it's really good. And I am intrigued and I'm loving the banter. I'm loving the sarcasm. I'm loving that she stands up for herself. And I'm here for it. You guys, I'm laughing because I cannot stop reading this book. I cannot stop reading this book. I am a little over halfway through. I'm almost 60% now. And I didn't even want to stop to update this vlog. Like I just needed to keep reading. So much has happened. Personalities are really coming out. I had said Knox was kind of like an a-hole, and that has been completely cemented for me. Atlas, we finally get to see him, and he is such a sweetheart. I love him. But it's getting interesting, and we're getting sprinkles of information about Oleander that we didn't have before. I don't want to spoil anything because it's not anything that's actually on the back of the like synopsis, so I don't want to spoil anything, but oh my gosh, like I could totally be besties with this girl. Speaking of, she does have a best friend now, and I love her best friend. Oh, they have such a good friendship. So far, no spice at all on the page, so keeping you updated on that because I know some people don't like spice, or at least they like closed door. I prefer closed door myself. But anyway, so yeah, I am absolutely loving this book and I am obsessed with it. Oh my gosh. Well, I gotta go because I need to keep reading. Yes, I'm still sitting here. I'm at 75%. It's so good. I am so seriously obsessed with this book. I think it's going to be 5 stars, everybody. I really do. And there's several in the series, and I am 100% gonna continue. And I may have a really hard time not continuing immediately. I like spinning, and I don't necessarily want the vlog to be all the same series, but oh my God. Now, I will say, look at some trigger warnings, because there was an incident that happened involving Knox that was not 100% consensual. So, like, look at triggers and stuff on that. But, oh my gosh, I am obsessed. You know what I'm going to say, don't you? You know what I'm going to say. That I finished this book in one day. I finished this entire book, and it was Incredible. And I had such a good time. And oh my gosh, like, yes, I am 100% going to have to pick up the next book. I'm sorry. I hope this vlog doesn't end up being super boring for you. I'll have to throw in a lot of fun cat stuff so it can entertain you better, but I have no choice. I have no choice. Yeah. Oh my gosh, you guys. It was so good. It was so good. It continued with the no spice on the page. And I loved it. I loved the relationships. I loved the truths that were coming out. I loved the discussions they were having. I loved the banter. I do. I love Oleander. I love her bestie. I love these guys. Still don't like Knox. Atlas is still my favorite. And yeah, I really had a great time. You can ask my family. I did not want to put this book down at all. So because of that, I am picking up Savage Bonds, which is book 2. So more on that to follow. So I am now 25% into Savage Bonds, book 2 of the Broken Bond series. And oh my gosh, I feel so bad for her. Oleander is trying so hard to figure out the whole bonding thing and her abilities and everything. The way that book 1 ended, I immediately had to grab book 2. I'm sorry that this vlog is about it, but I'm still having a fabulous time. And Oleander and her best friend Sage are just the freaking cutest. I love their friendship so much. I still like Atlas the best. I know it's not a popular opinion by everybody, but Knox is still an a-hole, and like he could fall off the face of the earth and I'd be just fine. The only redeeming thing about him for me is that he has these like shadow creatures that actually, if you've done the Nevernight series by Jay Kristoff, remind me a lot of Mr. Knightley and the shadow creature that she has in that series. So there's like a shadow dog and things like that. So that's the only redeeming quality for me, is that he has this ability. But anything else, I freaking hate this guy, and I would be okay if he wasn't in the rest of the series. But anyway, so that's where I am at 25%, and she's still at school, still trying to get a handle on her abilities and trying to figure out what's going on with this pull she has to these guys. All right, so I'm about 50% of the way through Savage Bonds, and it is addicting, let me tell you. I am just, oh my gosh. There's now a second Smoke Like Dog, and I am still completely obsessed with this series and this book. I am going to be running into Home Depot, though, to get some paint and stuff because we need to redo our back porch. So I'm going to go in and attempt to find the right stuff. Wish me luck. Ooh, that was exciting. I knew absolutely nothing of what to grab or how to do any of it. So I think I got the right stuff, and hopefully our porch will look great. And in this vlog, I'll make sure to have pictures of before and after. But meanwhile, I am now at 75%, and oh my gosh. So there's been some bonding going on now, and some spice is finally entered into this series, and wasn't with who I expected, I gotta admit. So this is just turning out to be a lot of fun. I am just still so here and so enjoying it. I'm going to be running into the library, but before I do, I wanted to say I finished the book. Oh my gosh, I'm immediately picking up the next one because it was just that good, and the ending was just that much of a what the heck just happened. So I'm going to run inside and get the next one. 25% into it, and I am here for it. I am still absolutely loving this series. I am still blown away by everything. And yeah, we now have a second bond that's been cemented. So again, more spies, prepare yourself. But oh my gosh, I am just loving the ride. I'm loving finding out more and more about these abilities and these characters, and I'm here for it. I am now 50% into Blood Bonds, and oh my gosh. Okay, the spice level has gone up, so be prepared for that. But also some really deep and dark stuff and dark revelations and some fallout from what happened at the end of book 2. And it's really good. It's well written. It's heart crushing. It's exciting, and we're getting more about Sage and who her bonded are. This is Sage being the best friend of Oleander, and yeah, it's just a lot of fun. I am about 75% into Blood Bonds, and it is not letting up, that is for sure. Yeah, it's incredible, and I'm loving the relationships that are building here. I'm loving the bonding. I'm loving these shadow creatures. I'm loving her best friend Sage. I'm loving the things that are now happening with Sage and some truths that are coming out there that are just wonderful. And I'm just having the best time. I know you're probably sick of this vlog already, but I am having the best time. So we just had another bonding. I'm doing Friday sprints, and we're having a great time together, and oh my gosh, we just had another bonding. I am this close to finishing this book, and yeah, I'm gonna have to grab the next one. I just finished Blood Bonds. No. No. No way. Okay. I need to pick up the next one for an entirely different reason than what I was thinking I was going to. Oh. All right, so I started Forced Bonds. I'm about a little over 25% into it, and it is heartbreaking. She was betrayed in the previous book, and the whole situation is just sad and hard to deal with, and my heart goes out to Oleander for sure. And then, of course, it's not helping anything that one of the characters is not wanting to bond with her, and that's kind of leaving them all a little bit vulnerable to this group that they're fighting against, and makes them all kind of uneasy, and they don't have the full potential of their powers unlocked. But this one person is just really like, heck no, I'm not bonding. So it's a little bit of a stressful time for the group right now, but it is good. The spice level has gone up. We'll just say there's group activities now, so prepare yourself for that in case that's not your bag. But yeah, like, I'm really hoping things get fixed. I'm hoping we find out exactly what happened with that betrayal, because it's hurting my heart. Okay, I'm about 60% into Forced Bonds now. We've gotten some answers, which is good. I think it makes sense. The way that J. Bree has chosen to write this makes sense, and you don't feel cheated, but you're also not like completely heartbroken forever. So she really thread that needle well, and I'm really enjoying it. And we now have the bonds going. Kind of a reluctancy still though, and I'm hoping that gets rectified, because I can see good things happening. We're also getting, along with the fight of this group and trying to figure out what happened with the betrayal, we're getting a third entity item tacked in now, where it seems like inside, and you find this out right away in the very first one when they're talking about the bonds, inside of Oleander is her bond is almost alive and like a godlike creature. And there's more going on with this now, and I am really intrigued by that. Hi, Whiskey. Hi, buddy. So, thanks, buds. Anyway, apparently I need to feed these guys after I give them some food and some plays and some pets. I am planning on going to the park because I'm kind of in the mood for doing a little walking outside, I think, and enjoying some of this beautiful weather. I'll see you guys in a bit. Yeah. So I am 75% now into Force Spawns, and oh my gosh. So we're finally getting, yes, all the answers that make me very happy. We've also got some background on why Knox is the way he is, and it is heartbreaking, everybody. Absolutely heartbreaking. I'm not mad at him anymore. Like, I used to be like, what is your problem, dude? But now my heart's broken, and people are disgusting. People are horrible. And the people you're supposed to trust, man, they screwed that poor guy up. So yeah, it's so good though. It is so good. You fall in love with all of these characters like completely. So we're getting some really good stuff and some really good magic stuff broken down, and oh, I love this series, everybody. I know I'm probably annoying you all with it, but mwah, chef's kiss. I love this series. I've now finished Force Spawns, and yes, another 5-star. Another 5-star for sure. And once again, Jay Bree knows how to give us those cliffhanger endings. So once again, I'm going, what the pafargle? And I need to know. So guess what? I'm picking up the next one, everybody. I'm sorry. I have to know. So I am about 25% into Tragic Bonds, and tragic is definitely a good word. Book is still excellent, as always, but tragic because this is dealing a lot with Atlas and his family, and it's just not great. You feel so bad for the characters, but I am still so loving the writing style, and I am still so here. So I'm about 50% now, little over technically, into book 5, and it is not letting us go. It is really grabbing us. We're moving. We are learning so much more about what is going on the inside of these characters, and yeah, it's so good. And the friendships that are developing, the new powers that are developing. Oh my gosh, it's all the things. It is all the things. I freaking love this series. I wish I could give more details, but it would 100% spoil things. Just know that book 5, I am still so in it. I have officially finished book 5, and I am right away picking up book 6 because I'm telling you guys, these are so completely bingeable and amazing, and your heart goes out to them, and you want them to succeed, and you want all the things, and you just love these characters so much. And so I need to know right away what's happening next. 5 stars. I forgot to say 5 stars. I'm 38% into Unbroken Bonds, and oh yeah, it hit the ground running. It is so good. This is book 6. This is the final book. I don't know what I'm gonna do when this is over, because this has been so bingeable and so much a part of my life for over a week, and I just have not been able to put these things down, and so I don't know what I'm gonna do. But anyway, at 38%, we are basically seeing everybody come together, which is beautiful, and we are seeing more about what's going on the inside of all of them, and some sleeping powers coming to light, and all the good things completely. And of course it's spicy. It is so spicy. So just prepare yourselves for that. But it's not gratuitous. It really isn't. It's just what you'd expect if you have a reverse harem kind of thing going. But it is so good. And the love they have for each other is so beautiful. And this is just so amazing. I am now a little over halfway in Unbroken Bonds, and it still gripped me. Although some of the spice is becoming kind of, I'm over it. Like, we've already done the naughties and the unexpecteds, and now I'm kind of over it. So I wish it was more just the plot. But I mean, what do you expect? That's kind of what the whole series is probably geared towards. So it is what it is. But I'm still loving the characters. I'm loving the revelations that are still happening, the war and fight that's happening. They're being very realistic to the fallout of that and survivors and stuff. So I am enjoying that. So I have finished it. I have finished Unbroken Bonds. Now, I have to admit, as much as it was extremely satisfying, this ending, and the whole series I just completely fell in love with, I have to admit, as much as they were building stuff up, I guess I expected more of an epic battle and an epic ending for this entire series. And so, unfortunately, I'm going to give Unbroken Bonds the first 4-star. That's not a bad thing. That's still solid read. That's amazing. That's chef's kiss. That's, I want to own all these books in beautiful editions at some point in my life to have on my shelf. When I looked into it, though, it looked like the only special editions were done by Fairy Loot and by the Bookish Box, and both of those are like $600. So not gonna happen, but I will have the paperbacks on my shelf because I did absolutely love this series. I fell in love with the characters. I would 100% read this again. I just wanted more from a wrap-up that was the 6th book in a series, but it is so good, everybody. It is so good. I'm sorry this vlog is nothing but Broken Bond series, but I had a fabulous ride. Thanks for joining me on it, and I will see you guys later.